Okay, this is Yang Lu Chan's basic form, lesson 5, going through to the end of grasping swallow's tail. Okay, so we left off at double pung for the last lesson, so we'll just carry on straight in. Okay, from this posture, it's just a series of movements where you're just sitting back and rolling forward constantly. Each movement, one movement you sit back, next movement you sit forward. So we don't have to move the feet now, it's just a weight change. The first thing we're going to do is roll back and then forward into chi, like that. All your palms are going to do for that whole posture is this. We're just going to roll over like that. You're going to drop down. You're going to connect, lift up and squeeze together. The body does everything else. The arms do not move to the sides or push to the front. They only move up and down, and the wrists roll over each other. The body is what creates all the extra movement. So literally all you're going to do here, you've got your yin hand and your yang hand, like that. I'll show you this in close-up, in fact. You've got your palms like that to start with. All you're going to do with your hands is this. That's it. Don't do anything more than that. The common mistake with this posture is people will do this. See, I've got one hand on the top now. We do not want any motion of that. You turn your right palm to palm down. You turn your left palm to palm up. But I haven't moved the arms at all. Only the wrists move over. So the left fingers are pointing so that they're going in there like that. See, that's the dragon mouth point of the right hand. It's situated like that. The left fingers are pointing so that if your fingers were longer, they'd actually be inserted in there. So that's the most important thing, is to get that structure as the palms roll over. As you do that little rolling over movement, what you're going to do is turn your waist just fractionally to your right as you roll them over. So we get this happening before we draw back for the roll back movement. So we shouldn't be doing it just static on the spot. It's a very small movement. It looks like this. Just until, see that? Just until your palms are sort of over the top of your right knee. So don't do a big movement over here and then draw it back over here. It's just rounding off the posture, like I was talking about, I think, in the very first lesson. So it's a matter of, rather than doing 1, 2, making like a dead movement, you're just doing a little, like you're drawing a 9 kind of thing. So we go from here and down. It's just a little loop off before drawing back. So you roll the palms over, change the waist just slightly over to your right. Notice how the right palm is starting to go yang, the left palm is starting to go yin. If you just make the shape, they're gonna make that anyway. You don't have to think, oh, change this to yang. Just roll the hands and see naturally this is going to go yin and this is going to go yang. You shouldn't really have to think about that one. So that's the first part, just to there. And now from here you literally just sink all your weight back into your left leg, and turn your waist, your whole center turns 45 degrees all the way off center back to here until your left palm is over top of your left knee, like that. The fingertips of your left fingers are in your center line. So I don't have the wrist in the center, then it'd be too far over this way. The fingertips of my left palm are here, centered. The right palm is just a few inches forward of that left palm, like that. Right elbow over right knee, left palm over left knee, like this. Hips, shoulders, everything's facing the corner, but the eyes are still on the front, because always where the action is happening is where the eyes face, remember. So the applications are all happening to the front in this case. So that's where the eyes literally stay on the front. Your head turns corner to front, but your eyes stay here. Keep in mind we're going to be heading that way, of course. So that's your posturing. You've twisted and sunk all your weight back. From here, what you're going to do is connect the palms and move forward into chi. So, see, as I'm progressing down, I'm getting that full change of state. So the right hand is pushing down like this, like a yang strike. The left palm is pushing down as a yin strike. But keep the palms not too low. See how they're about lower rib height, because that's what you're defending against, is a punch coming up into your lower ribs. So that's the height we're going to hold the hands at. Don't push them down like this. Breaks the structure, closes the qua. Just raise it up a bit. See, it's nicely away from your own body. Don't bring it in like this. Remember, your hands, as I said, your palms only drop like that. It's the body that makes them turn to the side. So on the second part, don't bring them into the body. Just drop them straight down. So it's that far away from your chest. So therefore it's still that far away from your hips when you're down the lower position. Okay, palms again. This is what your hands are going to do. From this position, this is the lower position, your right palm simply tucks under a little bit like that. Just turn the palm so it's thumb up. Your left palm is going to roll over the top and place on top of your right forearm, on the bone, the radial bone, which is the thumb side forearm bone, like that. So that's how your hands place. You're going to place the mounts, which is this here, the mounts of the palm, of the fingers, onto that radial bone, like that. If you can see, I think you can see that on the camera, that little indentation there. There's the two tendons running down there. That little hole in there, place the little finger mount, the pad of your little finger, into that hole, like that. So basically, just make sure your palm is butted up against your thumb, so it's not down here somewhere, it's right up here. So when they squeeze together from that position, they're going to do this and come together. So now the finished posture, this little bone that you'll be familiar with if you've been practicing small sansauf, that we strike with those bones in applications. So those two little bones on both hands should be touching like that, and you fold the hands together. So that's the positioning of your palms, like that. Left finger's facing up, right finger's wrapped around. So the right hand is now yin, the left palm is now yang, because they've changed. When you roll them over, you've got the palms like that to start. The right hand is yang, the left hand is yin. When you connect the palms, they mustn't change, they must hold their state. So this one is still yang, and this one is still yin. See, I haven't gone like this. The fingers are actually facing down the back of the forearm. When I squeeze them together, this is as the weight will come forward, see the change of state. The right hand has gone yin, the left hand has gone yang. So that's how you're going to finish the posture. Now you've got to fit that in with the body movement. So from here, roll the palms as you change the waist, just that little fraction over to the right, so they're over your right knee. Draw it back to your left, sinking back. Now, once the left palm is over your knee, that's when you roll. See, it comes, see how it rolls over? So you're not going stop, touch, forward. This hand's going to come, it's done that nice little 9 shape to curve it around. Once it gets down to the bottom, see, it'll roll over the top and then come forward again. So, there's the roll back. Now you connect the palms, so the palms are going to both be in your center now, like that. So the right wrist is now directly in the center of your own body. Still away from your body. Do not do this and bring it in close. Keep your qua open and keep the palms well away from your hips. That's the touch. Right hand is yang, left hand is yin. Everything's still on the corner. Now we push straight to the front with the strike. Squeeze the hands together and change your weight back into the front leg, back onto the right heel. So you're back into that normal bow stance that we've already done. Notice how the hands stay this far away from the body the whole time. There's no component of this. And pushing forward. We're not using the arms. The arms don't have much power. The body is what has power. So from here, all the arms do is literally raise straight upwards, and the palms will squeeze together. But the body turns to the front and brings the weight forward. So it's the body making the strike, not the arms. So that takes us to chi. One more time from here. The breathing on this, as we're doing now, we're sitting back. Any sitting backward movement is an in-breath. Any forward action is an out-breath. Also, any upward movement, I'm sure I must have said that in the first lesson, but any upward movement is an in-breath. So the first posture, in-breath. Second posture, out-breath, because it's a downward movement. So yeah, any breath in the form, you can always, I'll normally tell you the breathing, but if you're unsure, just think, okay, this is a lifting move, so I should breathe in. If it's a sinking move, you should breathe out. If it's a sinking backward type of movement, you breathe in, and if it's going forward, you breathe out. And there's always a connecting breath with anything that you're doing. So when you breathe, unless you've just been for a run and you're panting, if you breathe in, this is your breath. See, my hand was representing the in and out there. So that's not a natural breath. I breathed in and then straight away started breathing out. Your breath will come in, there'll be a little pause, and then you'll breathe out, if your body's relaxed. So in a case like this, we're going to come, so say when we're going into double pung, we're breathing out into double pung, to there. This little action, just that little preparation before you start drawing back, that'll just be the pausing part of the breath. So don't feel that you have to be breathing constantly the whole time. It's just that natural pause time between the breaths. So that's your main out breath, because of course that's a forward action. There's the pause, and now when I start sitting back, breathe all the way in, and again this little connection part, that would be your pause. So it's always that little rounding off of each posture that's the pause breath before breathing in or out. So there's your pause, and then breathe all the way out as you come back into the front leg for that posture there. Okay, from here we go into lower chi. What you're going to do with the palms this time is look in the mirror, like that. We call this look in the mirror. It's just like you're holding a mirror in front of your face and looking at it like that. So literally, all you're going to do with the hands is this. Turn the whole structure of what you have here 90 degrees upward, like that. So the right fingers now are facing up, the left fingers are obviously facing over to your right. Be careful here not to do this. See, I've lifted my left elbow now. That's going to create tension. So make sure in this posture, see, it will raise just a little bit, but the elbow is still below the wrist. So I've still got that relaxation here. And the right arm is nearly vertical, like that. It's facing upward. So you just go 1. Now you're going to brush the left fingers off the right wrist. So do not do this. Don't pull the hand back like this. Brush the fingers off the forearm. You're going to brush those fingers off, but see how they're turning with the body. So I'm not using the arm to go like this. I'm leaving my right hand on the front. So my right hand literally just stays here where it is, and I turn my center away from it as I sit back. The left fingers, the left wrist is in my center, so that left palm turns with my body like this. So the hand's not doing much at all. It's just sitting and staying with the body the whole time. So you do that as you sit back into your left leg. Same footwork as the previous posture. You're just sitting back, turning to the left hand corner, and then coming back into the front leg. It's all the same stuff. So from here, 1, turn the palms. 2, we sit back into the left leg and turn to the left. Remember to brush the fingers on the wrist to here. We've sat back and turned to our left. The left hand is going yin, the right hand is going slightly yang. you're now going to catch up with the right hand. So the right hand's going to now just simply swing around and connect to the left hand. Exactly the same shape as what we did from the previous one when we did that. So I'll show you again close up. There's the hands. One. Draw it back. See, this hand's coming yin like this. This one's going yang. So they connect like this. Left hand is still yin, right hand is still yang. Same posture as before, then they can squeeze together, exactly like they did before. Only this time they're going to be dropping downwards, but the hands are doing the same thing. So 1, 2, 3. Make sure the state is correct in the hands. Yang in the right, yin in the left. They're both in your center line and they're both up around head height. You're now going to sink all the way forward, just exactly the same as what we just did. No different, only your hands are dropping instead of raising. So again, don't bring the hands in and push them forward. Just drop them straight down into that lower chi posture. The weighting is the same, 70%. Make sure you're always squeezing the hips into the front to get that stretch down the rear leg. Don't just leave your hips sagging open. Squeeze it in, bum remains tucked under, squeeze the palms down. See, they're still well away from my body as well.